Hello everybody, and welcome back to All the Mods 10. In the previous episode, we got started in a brand new world. We explored around a little bit, found a village, got attacked by a very powerful enemy that killed us right away, and we found a supply cart in one of the chests in the village, and yeah, as you can see behind me, that's pretty much what this area is. We placed it down on the ground, and a bunch of items appeared, I guess, a bunch of structures. We also got started with mining, and eventually we started the create mod. And that's kind of what I want to continue working on today. I want to make sure that we have pretty much anything that we might need for the create mod all set up. So if you're as excited as I am to get started with that, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel out and lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content so far. And before we get started with that, there is a wandering trader here. Let's see if it has anything good. An overworld city map. That's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have any emeralds, so we're gonna have to pass on all of these. But fortunately, he did give us some leather and some leads. By the way, I just opened up the logbook and I clicked the collect all items thingy up in the corner, and I got a free stressometer and speedometer. Looks like I got some more there. Alright, so what I was going to do is open up the create tab here once more. And I want to get started with creating all of the machines that are surrounding this central sort of machines node. These are the bread and butter of the create mod and allow you to do pretty much everything in the mod. Obviously, there's a few more things down in this direction and up here, but pretty much everything is going to require these machines here. So I'm going to get started with the mechanical mixer. What we're going to need for this is a whisk, which is just made with iron plates and andesite alloy. And I'm just going to go ahead and convert pretty much all of my zinc and andesite into these andesite alloys. These are used for pretty much everything in Create, so we're gonna need a ton of those. So the first thing I'm going to start building is actually a basin. This is pretty simple. It's just 5 andesite alloys, but it's going to be required for the mixer. Next up, I am just going to go ahead and move my depot over here. Actually, I should probably move the mechanical press back over here, just so that we can use it at full speed. And I needed the mechanical press to get some more of those iron plates, so should be getting those pressed up now. And I just realized I messed this up pretty bad, but we'll worry about that later. We'll probably be reconfiguring this entire system here in a little bit, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and craft up our first whisk. And we can immediately convert that into a mechanical mixer. Nice. And we get some pretty decent rewards from this quest. We get some glowstone, redstone, and netherwart. Yeah, not too bad. For now, I'm just gonna place it right next to there, and I will put the basin right beneath that. So the mechanical mixer allows you to combine different materials together, such as combining iron nuggets, sorry. Here we go, iron or zinc and andesite. And right, I forgot. This one is a little bit different. So you can kind of see there's a cog inside of the mechanical mixer. Basically, what we're going to need to do is apply the sort of the cog part of the cog wheel onto that. So I'll probably pull off some power from here. Let me figure that out real quick. So this is another thing that we're going to need in the create mod a ton of, and those are gearboxes. These basically allow you to change the direction that a power source is going into. So as you can see, we have a regular horizontal gearbox, and that will bring power both this direction, that direction, and also going back far that way. What we need to do though is get a vertical gearbox, which you can either get by crafting or hitting it with a wrench, We have not made a wrench quite yet. We should probably get on that pretty soon. Here we go. And then we will need one more vertical gearbox. Oh, sorry. We actually need a cogwheel from here. That's right. And yeah, there we go. Now it will start mixing up our andesite alloy and iron nuggets. By the way, I do realize that I probably should have waited just a little bit to craft those andesite alloys earlier. I completely forgot about this recipe until I started explaining it here, so... Alright, so next up I want to craft the millstone. This will allow us to grind up certain materials, such as wheat into flour. And it's pretty useful early game, but it does actually get outperformed by the crushing wheel. Crushing wheels are a lot more complicated to make, and this crafting recipe is pretty simple as well. We just need a cogwheel, andesite casing, and any sort of stone. So regular stone will work here, andesite, and I believe granite as well. Probably diorite as well. So here we go. There is our millstone. And I am just going to place it right next to there. The millstone is pretty similar to how the mixer works in that it needs a rotational, it needs a gear, I should say, next to it. So because the mechanical mixer has a gear, a cog inside of it, it'll spin that. Awesome. Okay. There's some sort of necromancer here. Oh, jeez. Oh no, I am not prepared for this at all. He just sort of appeared next to my base. Yep. Shoot. I don't know how I'm supposed to fight this off. It might take me a few tries here. Oh. Alright, I'm probably just gonna run away for a little bit. Try to get as far as I can, and then I'll I'll come back. That's a little annoying. Alright, it looks like it's gone now, hopefully. Yeah, I completely forgot what I was doing before that. Nice. Right, I was gonna craft a couple of hoppers. We're gonna need hoppers for the millstone, because it's a little bit finicky how it works. We need to put items inside via a hopper or chute, and that'll actually get things grinding up inside. And then after everything has grinded up, it'll actually automatically eject through the hopper. So I'm going to place this down below, and I'll just place that one up top. So the quest reward gave us poppies, dandelions, and cornflowers. If you use these inside of the millstone, you get some extra dyes, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Might as well. And as you can see, it's working pretty quickly, and we get a decent amount of dyes. So before I get too far into the create mod, I need a place to actually build my machines and configure my factory. But before I can do that, I don't have a lot of materials right now. So what I want to do is actually get started with farming trees specifically in the create mod. And one thing that we're going to need in order to farm trees are the deployers. Now, these are actually a little bit more complicated than you might think. What we're going to need for this are brass hands and electron tubes. Brass hands, we're going to need brass for. There's a few ways that we can get brass, but basically we're going to need zinc and copper, and that will make brass. But the most complicated part of this is we're going to need a blaze burner, which means that we're going to have to go to the nether. And seeing as I only have one diamond, I think I gotta do a little bit more grinding and actually find a few more diamonds so I can farm obsidian, and then we can get started with all the things that we need in order to start farming trees. Wow, that was a lot of diamonds in one single vein. So I was going to keep going down to bedrock, but honestly, at this point, I don't really need to. I've dug a tunnel pretty much all the way down. Let's see how far it actually goes. I'm just using... Oh, there's more diamonds here too. I'm just using FTB Ultimine. I might come back for these when I have Fortune. But yeah, I'm just using FTB Ultimine to sort of dig a very quick tunnel down. We're almost down to the bottom. Might as well keep going. There we go. Now we're at bedrock. Alright, I'm gonna head back up now, and yeah, I'll see you guys up there. By the way, a trick that you can use when you want to light up an area is if you hit F7, it'll actually add this light overlay to your world, and it'll show you where monsters can spawn. Red means that they can spawn anytime, yellow means they can spawn at night. And if you don't see anything there, that means it's good enough. So I'm just going to light this cave up because it's very dangerous around here. Alright, and now that I am back at my base a little bit safe, I can go ahead and craft my first diamond pickaxe. Nice. I don't think these are from building the diamond pickaxe. I probably just picked up a few random things. Here we go. And yeah, my inventory is completely full. By the way, these crates are both decorative and also useful. If you find yourself with a lot of crops, what you can do is actually convert 9 of them down into one of these crates. It's pretty useful. For now, I think I'm just going to place these here because I don't really want them in my inventory. Plus, they look pretty cool, so might as well have them there. Nice. Now that I've got my diamond pickaxe and a bucket of water, it's time to try to find some lava. Ideally, we find it in the overworld here, and I don't have to go deep underground. I see one a little bit to the east here. Is that the closest one? It looks like it might be. Yeah. Oh, is that a woodland mansion? I didn't even notice that was there. What the heck? Alright, we'll have to go explore that. Wait, why is it... I'm pretty sure that's a spruce forest over there. Huh. Well, we'll have to explore that sometime soon, I guess. Alright, I found the pool of lava here. And time to get my water bucket down. And the miserable and long part of Minecraft of mining obsidian. Fortunately, we do have the FTB Ultimine, so it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, okay, it almost burned up. Nice, we got 39 obsidian from that. Alright, I'm just crafting up a flint and steel. And I'm gonna build my nether portal. I think it's just over here is fine, honestly. I want to make sure that it's away from my base. As far as I can go away. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's good. Yeah, it's a little bit of a weird looking portal, but it'll do for now. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna head inside and see what awaits us. And it looks like we spawned in some sort of bastion, looks like. There's literally ancient debris right in front of me. That's insane. I might leave that for now. We don't really need netherite right away. Okay, this is a pretty interesting area, actually. Just gonna take a look around. It looks like some sort of a forge or something. Anyway, what I'm here for right now is literally just a single piece of netherrack. Alright, that's the nether completed. And now I can go ahead and press a few more iron plates for us. And I can go ahead and combine that with the piece of netherrack that we just picked up. And that will give us an empty blaze burner. What we need to do with this is we're gonna have to go and find a blaze and capture it. Now, I just killed a skeleton with a refined glowstone chestplate on it, so that's pretty cool. That's plus 8 armor instead of the plus 5 from the copper one, not too bad. And now that I'm a little bit more prepared, I'm gonna go ahead and head back into the nether and hopefully we can find a blaze in there. Right, and looking out over the rest of the area here, wow, this is a very large and potentially dangerous area. I'm trying to remember how to zoom in here. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. So we need to find a blaze, so I might just try to head out in that direction. That looks like a biome that blazes might be able to spawn in. I'm not too sure. This place is very, very dangerous looking. Alright, I'm not seeing any blazes spawning in this biome. But that doesn't mean that they can't. I almost just died there. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep exploring, and hopefully I can find maybe another fortress. And I've come across some sort of structure here that looks a little bit dangerous. Oh, that's a respawn anchor. Okay. I don't have any glowstone on me right now, but that could be pretty neat. And I've stumbled into another very dangerous looking biome here. I thought I saw a wither skeleton nearby, so I gotta be careful about that. Looking at the map, there are quite a few structures around, but I'm not seeing another fortress. So I might just have to keep exploring for a bit. I found a spawner over here, and it looks like piglin brutes. I was hoping for a blaze spawner. I can go check over there. Hopefully that's another fortress. Oh, I hear a blaze. I think it's inside this tower. Maybe there's a spawner up there. I know that there's a bunch of piglins in here. Let's see if I can get up there. Yeah, that's a lot of piglin brutes. And I'm not seeing where the blaze is, unfortunately. Oh, hello there. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Oh. Ah, shoot. I was running away from one piglin brute and ran into another one, unfortunately. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go back to the nether and find where my body is. Shoot. My grave is unfortunately surrounded by piglin brutes right now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to it. Huh. I might just have to grab it and run immediately. Hopefully at least get it away from where the brutes are. Here we go. Ooh, alright. I think I escaped them. Oh, I just found a blaze. Here we go. Nice. I'm basically to the fortress now, so I might as well just get to it and get the achievement if I don't die to a wither skeleton first. Ooh, that was close. And there we go. We got the achievement. Not too bad. So I guess I can explore around. It's very dark in this biome. I might come back with some torches. But yeah, we've achieved our goal here in the nether of getting a blaze for our blaze burner. So I guess it's time to head back to the overworld and yeah, get started with the crate stuff. Oh, and I'm getting attacked by a ghast, of course. Come on. Return to sender. Almost. I'm out of food, unfortunately. I think I'm just gonna tactically retreat here. Oh, I do have some steak left. I might be able to get this. Hopefully it leaves me alone, though. Yeah, the nether is a dangerous place. I really don't like being here for too long. Alright, I've had more than enough of the nether for today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started by placing my blaze burner down below the basin here. Whoops, that's the wrong spot. It's got to be right below it, just like that. And that will allow the mixer and the basin to heat up and allow us to mix metals. Now, looking at my stores, I realize I actually don't have any zinc remaining. I believe I used it all creating the andesite alloy, so I'm gonna have to go down to the almost said to the nether again, down to the mines and find some more. I might try to find some more diamonds as well. I definitely need better armor. So if we want to get a little bit more out of our ores, what we can do is actually use an ore hammer. These are made with blocks of the various materials as well as 3 sticks. And I think I'm just going to use copper for this right now just because we have an absolute ton of it. I mean, we've got 55 blocks. That's more than enough. Alright, so we can make the copper ore hammer, and then all we do is put our ore inside of the crafting table, and look at that, we get twice as many. Nice. Alright, I think we have enough zinc ingots right now, and copper ingots as well, to actually get started with making some brass. So all we gotta do is throw our copper and zinc into the into the basin here. Sometimes it is a little bit finicky. And then what we need to do now is give the blaze burner a little bit of fuel. So that'll get started, and you can see at the top there, we've already got 4 ingots of brass. Nice. And it's just about done, and we got a total of 52 brass ingots from that. Not too bad, and I think that's way more than we're actually going to need. So right here we have the brass hand. We are going to need to press these brass ingots down into brass plates. We're going to need 4 for each of these, and I think I'm going to do 5 brass hands. I think that should work. So we're going to need 20 of these crushed down, or pressed down, I should say. And now we should be able to combine all of our ingredients. We have brass plates and andesite alloys into some brass hands. The next part of making deployers is we are going to need to go back into the nether because we're going to need polished rose quartz, which is made from rose quartz, which is made from regular nether quartz and redstone. And we do have some quartz pretty close to where our portal is, fortunately. So if I go ahead and mine that all up and actually get it, there we go. We should have enough to make the rose quartz, which we can eventually make into our electron tubes. So we have rose quartz now like that. This is sort of the raw rose quartz. What we need to do with this is sand it down using sand and paper, which I don't have a lot of sugarcane right now. I should probably get planting that, but that should be enough for our purposes for now. So we just combine sand and paper, and obviously that makes sandpaper. And what we can do is just hold the sandpaper in our offhand, hold down right click, and it will start to polish the rose quartz. For the electron tubes, we are going to need some more iron plates, so we're going to get those crafted up really quick. And we should just be able to combine these two. I believe it's the polished rose quartz goes on top, and that creates our electron tubes. Nice. Alright, and we should now have everything that we need to make our deployers. It should be in that order: electron tubes on top, andesite casing in the middle, and brass hands down on the bottom. And there we go, we have 5 deployers now. Nice. And we can go ahead and claim our rewards from that. We get a few ingots from making the deployers. And looks like, oh, we actually get 3 empty blaze burners for collecting a regular blaze burner. That's pretty nice. Next up, we're going to need a few saws to cut down the trees. So let's see here. That's 3 iron plates per, 1 iron ingot. and 5 andesite casings. So we're going to need 15 iron plates for this. And now we should have everything that we need to make 5 saws. Nice, there we go. So I now need to figure out a place that I want this. It'll probably be in this area. This might be temporary. For this area, I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to be building or anything. I might move up there eventually. I was also thinking of making a pretty big base here. I haven't fully decided on anything yet, though. But yeah, for now, I'm just going to start building in this flat area out here. And probably just going to put my tree farm semi-randomly. So the way that we're going to do this is the pretty standard create automatic tree farm. And we're just going to dig down a little hole like that. We're going to place a small water wheel there. And we're going to just block off one sort of area of this. Now, I believe we only need 3 for this as well. But I'm a little old school with this, so I'm just going to put a water bucket down like that. And you'll note that it's rotating in a sort of, I think that's, yeah, counterclockwise manner if we go like that, or clockwise if we go right there. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep it with being clockwise. That way it's a little bit easier to keep track of. And I'm just going to bury this back up. We're also going to need a mechanical bearing for this as well. This will allow the machine to actually spin, and I'll show you that in a minute. It is important to note not to use the windmill bearing or the clockwork bearing. I'm not actually sure if that one works or not, but we want the mechanical bearing. So we go ahead and craft that, and we can place it on top of our water wheel. Now, when we right-click this, there we go. I guess it does need a block on top of it now. You notice that the block on top is spinning. So anything that is attached to the mechanical bearing will be moved with the rotation of the water wheel. You might also notice, though, that if you have more blocks placed next to it, it won't move those. So what we need in order to solve that issue is a little bit of super glue. Super glue is made with slime. Unfortunately, we have not found any slime yet. But there is, thankfully, an alternative to using slime. Well, I guess we're still using slime, but we're actually making it ourselves. So what we're going to do is just hoe some ground and get some wheat crops planted. By the way, I didn't know that that would automatically plant. That's pretty cool. And we're going to get a little bit of wheat. And what we can do with the wheat is put it through our millstone. That creates wheat flour. And wheat flour can actually be combined inside of a basin, if I can get everything in there. Oh, come on. Almost there. Almost there. There we go. If you combine it with water, it'll actually turn into dough. It is 1 bucket of water per dough, though, so it is a little bit expensive. Eventually, we can automatically fill this basin with water. And now we have a little bit of dough. What we can do with dough is either cook it or combine it with some lime dye, and that will create slime. And there is a few ways to get lime dye. We can combine, or we can grind up some like tulips or any sort of flower, really. And most of them have a small chance of actually producing lime dye. Fortunately, we did get a little bit of dyes from one of our quests, so we can actually just straight up craft some dye ourselves. Nice. And all we need to do is combine those, and that creates slime balls. Nice. And now we can go ahead and craft that with some iron plates. Sorry, 1 iron plate per super glue and 1 iron nugget. And we can create 2 of them right now. Yeah, I am gonna craft both just because the super glue goes by pretty quickly. So I've just built this as a little bit of a demonstration. This is probably not what it's going to look in the final sort of iteration of it, but I kind of just wanted to go over how the super glue works. So all we need to do is right click and right click once again. That'll stick every single block that is within the border to each other. If you have any extra bits like this, you do need to make sure that they connect into a part that's already connected. So now, if we update the mechanical bearing, you can see the whole thing is moving now. Nice. So what we need now is a way to basically place our saplings, which is where the deployers will come in. And we're also going to need to figure out how to get items in and out of the machine. We're also going to need some storage on top. That way we can keep our saplings and any wood that is harvested from this, and apples and anything that comes from trees, really. So in order to actually remove and put items into a contraption, we're going to need portable storage interfaces. One goes on the contraption and one goes on the outside, disconnected from it, and that will be where the items get stored. So these are pretty easy to make. We just need a chute and andesite casing. We haven't made any chutes yet. These are pretty simple, just iron plates and an iron ingot. These work like hoppers, except they're much faster, but they can only have, I believe it's one type of item inside at a time. So that makes 4. And we do only get 1 from this crafting recipe. I always forget that, but fortunately we had enough andesite casings. So like I said, 1 goes on the machine, on the contraption, and 1 goes outside. This can be 1 block space or 2. I think I'm just going to try 1 for now. And for our storage on the outside, I'm just going to go very temporary with a double chest. Now, in order to remove items from the portable storage interface, we can place a chute at the bottom, and that'll automatically pull items out. These things can be a little bit finicky at sometimes. Depending on the version that you're playing, it might not even work with a chute. We'll just have to see. If this doesn't work, we'll just have to use a funnel. Now what's left to do is to basically filter the deployers to only use saplings. That way they're not placing the blocks that are eventually cut down and stored inside of here. If anything gets in here, if these are not filtered, it will just place it on the ground. So definitely be careful of that. And I believe once I get this thing glued back together, that should be everything. I'm probably missing something, but that's how it goes sometimes with this. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and let her start, and yep, you can see it automatically placed our 4 saplings. So I'm probably gonna run around and find some more spruce saplings. That way we can speed this thing up a little bit. And before I get too far with sort of journeying around, I do want to make sure that this area is chunk loaded. So if you press M instead of J, you see this sort of different looking map. From here, we can click Claim Chunks, and if we just left click, that will claim it, but it won't load it. So what we need to do is shift left click after it's been claimed, and that will actually make sure that it is force loaded at all times. I'll probably just do the same with my entire area here. And yeah, there we go. I probably should have placed this in a single chunk. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit on the border of these two, but it's loaded anyway, so it should be fine. Alright, so I've wandered over to the west here, and it does look like this is a woodland mansion. Not bad. If this were hardcore, I'd be even more thankful because I could get a totem of undying in here. But I'm not quite equipped enough or brave enough to wander in there quite yet. I'll probably wait until I have diamond gear. Oh, and I just realized there are sharks in the water near my base. Hopefully they don't try to attack me. Oh, he's coming towards me. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, he's coming. Uh-oh. Alright, I made it. Made it safe. He almost got me. Oh, jeez, okay. That's pretty funny. Alright, so there weren't many spruce saplings over in the redwood forest over there, so let's see how things have been going over here. Looks like it's cut down one tree so far. That's not too bad considering we only have a few saplings here, so it'll take a while to actually get like sort of jump started, but once it's, yep, here we go. Once it gets a few more saplings in, it'll start going a little bit quicker. Also, I did pick up this reflecting necklace. I'm not sure exactly what it does. It looks like it's another one of the ones that needs to be researched. So it looks like it has an ability called Infernal Hatred, and it sort of builds up a charge over time as I take more damage, and eventually it will explode into obsidian shards that deal a little bit of damage and actually stun enemies. That could be pretty good. And it sounds like I have some pillagers nearby as well. Hello. Please don't kill me. Alright. So I kind of want him to damage me so I can see the effect of the obsidian shard thingy. Hopefully I don't die before that. Yikes, it might be my whole health bar. I don't have any food on me. Uh-oh. Hold on. I have some in here. Yeah. Oh! Oh, there it goes. Oh, nice. I think I was probably too far away from him. Well, there we go. We got him anyway. But I do think that this episode is starting to run on a little bit long. So I think in between episodes, I'm just going to let this farm run for a little bit. I may end up building like an oak one as well, maybe. And yeah, I'll just let these run. And yeah, then we'll come back in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.